I'm so excited to have you here today. Now, I know that we've been chatting on YouTube before in regards to the fertility summit that you've got in a month's time. So at the end of July 2024 here, for those who are watching this later on. But yeah, later in another month's time, you've got your fertility summit. And I thought actually I'd get you on and you can just tell people, how is it that you became, what's your history story of how it is that you became a fertility coach and then have decided to make this summit that really doesn't exist, well, definitely doesn't exist anywhere in Australia. And how did this come about?
So it came about. So basically, from the age of 25, I started doing a course called New Opportunities in Holistic Therapies back in the UK. And this is what got me onto understanding about health and healing and how we can connect into ourselves really to support our own health. So this is what started it. Okay. Now, when I didn't get married till I was about 35, and by then I was like, oh God, we need to have children. And I was never like a super, child person, but always knowing that, one day it'll be my turn. So for me, my turn just did not happen, and it did not happen a lot. So we started trying to have a baby, and after 2 years, it nothing had happened. So then that's when I started going into looking at fertility doctors. And really, long story short, I ended up having 6 very unsuccessful IVFs. After each IVF, there was more emotional trauma, stress, and strain. And learning about how really we turn inwards. A lot of us turn inwards and have a lot of self-attack there. Um, Also on this journey, I tell my clients now the journey is such a gift. On this journey, I started to realize, well, we're having IVF, which is in vitro fertilization, where they're taking my husband's sperm, my egg, they're kind of doing it all for us, but yet still my body, and when they put it back into my body, still wasn't working. And so my question was, look, I understand about health and healing, I need to start looking at that for me. And if nothing that I'm doing outside of myself is working, I need to turn the lights on inside. And so this was where I started to realize, and I'd gone through quite a few years, and it was kind of like a light bulb of, I need to start looking elsewhere, and perhaps I'm the key. So for me, I had a background of sexual abuse, and I had a great upbringing. I loved what I did. I grew up overseas my whole life, but there was an issue that happened. And so I specialize a lot in unexplained infertility. So for me, I had to look at healing this aspect of myself that still was running pain because I realize now we can grow up and realize and think, look, I'm cool. Something happened, not so great, but I'm an adult now. I'm totally fine. Let's go have babies. But the unconscious mind can be sort of playing, no, we're still in trauma. Things aren't nice out there. So we're just going to hunker down and, hold tight. So the fertility journey gave me the opportunity to heal that, to also heal other aspects of myself that possibly weren't as healthy as they could be. And that's the advantage of turning, the lights on inwards in a way. So in the end, towards, after 8 years, still nothing, doing everything I could. My sister-in-law got pregnant first time IVF, which I was happy for her, but geez, the pain was huge for me. And that to me was my guiding star because I did not want to feel this pain because a new little baby had come into this world and my sister-in-law had only managed to do what I couldn't. So then I did another lot of work on myself just to be completely clear because I didn't want life going, hey, look, there's a great life here. But all I could see was everything that I didn't have. So I did a lot of work on myself again, just clearing all those veils and layers, which is what I give to a lot of my clients. We clear all the stuff that is, all those unconscious blocks. And for me, my language was, I'm really lucky. I don't have to have babies. I am the child. I can go do whatever I want. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Africa and, do what work I can do out there. So it was roughly about 3.5 years, 3 years later, and I thought I was going through menopause because I felt dreadful, and I knew I needed help because I just felt so awful. And this is where I found out it wasn't menopause; it was actually I was actually pregnant.
Having a baby. And how old were you at this point, Liz?
So at this time, so I was 45 when I found out I was pregnant. And at my 12-week scan, I could see this little thing, and then I was told that she wasn't viable. So then really for 2 months, I had one of the most deepest spiritual experiences of my life about remaining completely in present moment awareness, realizing that for some reason I had this little thing that has come to me, and I just had to be open and know that this may or may not work. Anyway, I was very lucky. At the age of 26, I had a beautiful, healthy baby girl. And because of this, one of
46.
my, yeah, 46.
46, yeah.
Yeah. And because of this, one of my beautiful friends who's a business coach, she said, Liz, because of your journey and, that blueprint of just having so much go on your journey, I think, focusing on being a fertility coach would be something really good for you. And I was kind of like, really, do you think? So that's where the beginning of that help started. And really, I support most people. It's the emotional journey of the fertility path that can be one of the biggest effects on the body. And if we can have us back into alignment, then that means that whatever they've chosen for fertility path with medical clinicians, together by helping the individual to be in the best state in mind and body, then it's going to help that IVF or whatever's needed for them to be the most potent.
Yeah. So you've got a story of, so how many years was it? About 10 years, I believe.
Yeah, overall, I started when I was about, 35, 36, and
Yeah.
then I had my baby when I was 46.
Yeah. And at some point, was there let's just decide that we're not having babies and then have to learn to let go of working towards this?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was my sister-in-law getting pregnant. That was the time that I knew it's time to let go. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And so I suppose that happens too sometimes with some of your clients is
Yeah,
not always to
absolutely.
have the baby, it's learn how to let go so you can just keep moving on with life. Because it's life
Absolutely.
on
I've
its
done
own, right?
quite a few clients where they're just like, it's driving me insane. I need to let go. It's not healthy. And so I've had, yeah, at least 4 or 5, if not more, where like several years later they're going, guess what?
Because they've learned to let go, right? And
Because
then
I've
all of a sudden
totally
it's
let
like,
go,
oh,
had fun,
I let
started
go
with
and I
life.
wasn't cautious. Okay. And so so from all of this, all these years of, how old's Willow now?
He's 8.
8. There you go. So,
Yep.
wow, she's been around for a while. I think I've known it when she was about 3, so that's how long. Uh,
Yeah, she was about 2, yeah, 2 or 3 when we came to Australia.
yeah, yeah. God, here I am thinking that I've known you for 10 years, but it turns out it's probably only 5.
No,
Five,
no, it's 7 years, 7, 8 years.
Yeah, okay. All right. She was really little then. Yeah, I suppose I didn't see her until she was a bit bigger. Um, and so from this whole journey has now brought you as fertility coaching. So having Willow fertility coaching, still with hubby, which, that's part of the story too. That's sort of like is that, you and hubby have ended up having Willow and you still do all the family things and you have time with Willow. You guys have time together and you're older parents and now you've moved into this space, I suppose, as a networker, because I've known you originally knew you through networking, and as a networker, and a network leader, we've met so many people, and
Yeah,
in your position as a fertility coach, yes,
yeah,
there's that ability to network and find all the other people that are in this um, fertility world. And that, like you said in another interview before, there's like 1,300 people just in the Canberra and surrounds area of that haven't been able to have babies for whatever reason. And to be able to know through this summit, what their options are, and to get all the experts in the one room at the one time, so they can hear the experts talk, they can have a Q&A session with the experts. There's going to be 20 different stands where you can go and talk to people from all the different areas that help with fertility and helping singles and couples move forward with having babies or letting go, depending on where they are in the journey.
Yeah.
So that's at the end of July, I believe.
20th of July. Yeah, Saturday, the 20th of July. So about 3 weekends time. So it's all
Okay.
getting closer.
Yep.
So yes, from 9:30 till 5 it is. It's a day packed full of so much goodness and love and connection and letting people know that they're not alone on this journey. So yes, we have 8 speakers, 20 odd different stall holders, a beautiful tote bag. Everyone's going to have food and refreshments. And so, yeah, it's like a
It's
beautiful
going to be a
love.
big day, right? So
Yeah.
it's $200 or just less than $200 per ticket. But if it's a couple is going, $340, and by a couple, it's as Liz says, it's the +1, because it could be you know, someone wants to go and just take their bestie with them, or their mom or their sister, or it could be taking their partner with them, depending on who in the journey you know, gets to hear all the speakers and things like that. Liz, so excited to have you talk to us and tell us your story of how this has all come about, and looking forward to watching over the next 3 weeks as the day gets closer, and then maybe we interview you afterwards to see how
Yes,
it went as well, because you know, you do one, then you get to do another one, and so we'll find out.
absolutely. No, the vision is that it carries on, always growing and supporting everybody on the fertility journey, and highlighting as well all the amazing work medically in fertility,
Yeah.
as well as complementary infertility. So the prices again are $199 for one, $330 for a couple. There's a 20% special happening at the moment. So just go on the website, australianfertilitysummit.com. Everything, all the information is there.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And for those who live in the Sydney area, it's only a 3-hour drive. So if there's 1,300 in Canberra, which is about 400,000 people, I'd hate to know how many in Sydney are suffering, given that there's millions over there. So thank you, Liz. Thank you for chatting to us today.
Thank you very much, Misty. I appreciate it.